The mid-1990s were a paradoxical time for alternative music. Grunge had exploded into the mainstream, only to be co-opted by commercial forces, while post-rock and shoegaze simmered in the underground. Amid this landscape, Hum, a band from Champaign, Illinois, quietly released You'd Prefer an Astronaut in 1995. Though best known for its haunting single Stars, the album's true legacy lies in its groundbreaking fusion of metallic heaviness and interstellar atmospherics, a sound that still feels revolutionary 30 years later. This is the story of how a so-called one-hit wonder crafted a timeless blueprint for the future of alternative music. Formed in 1989, Hum spent their early years honing a dissonant, post-hardcore sound on albums like Elektra 2000, 1993. But it was You'd Prefer an Astronaut that marked their metamorphosis. Guitarists Matt Talbot and Tim Lash wove Titanic, down-tuned riffs with ethereal textures, while drummer Brian St. Pierre anchored the chaos with seismic grooves. Bassist Jeff Dempsey's melodic undercurrents tied it all together, creating a sound both visceral and otherworldly. The band's DIY ethos and refusal to conform to grunge tropes set them apart, foreshadowing their cult status. The album opens with a slow-burn crescendo, blending feedback-drenched guitars with Talbot's cryptic lyrics about cosmic longing. The track's climax, a wall of distortion punctuated by staccato drum fills, sets the tone for the record's dynamic extremes. A standout example of Hum's duality. Crushing riffs collide with shimmering arpeggios, while Talbot's whispered vocals evoke isolation. I just want to be alone. The song's structure mirrors the tension between aggression and introspection. The band's unexpected hit, Stars, marries a hypnotic guitar hook with existential lyrics, I Think I'd Like to See You Again. Its music video, featuring astronauts and starfields, became an MTV staple, though it oversimplified the band's depth. A masterclass in contrast. Thunderous verses give way to a chorus drenched in reverb, embodying the album's balance of raw power and celestial beauty. The album's heaviest track, driven by a relentless bass line and apocalyptic imagery. Yet, even here, Hum injects moments of fragile melody, refusing to be pigeonholed. A sprawling closer that builds from a minimalist riff into a cathartic, feedback-soaked finale. It encapsulates the album's ethos, vast, mysterious, and emotionally resonant. Produced by Hum and Keith Cleversley, You'd Prefer an Astronaut achieved a paradoxical sound, dense yet airy, aggressive yet introspective. The band's use of alternate tunings, drop D and C-sharp standard and layers of guitar tracks created a tectonic low end, while Cleversley's studio experimentation added spatial depth. Talbot's vocals, often buried in the mix, functioned as another instrument, ghostly and enigmatic. This production approach influenced later bands like Deftones and Cave In, who cited Hum's wall of sound as a key inspiration. Upon release, the album received modest acclaim, peaking at number 11 on the Billboard Heatseekers chart. Critics praised its ambition but struggled to categorize it. Was it metal? Shoegaze? Space rock? Stars became an alt-rock radio staple, but the band's reluctance to chase trends left them sidelined in the post-grunge rush. By 1998, Hum had disbanded, leaving You'd Prefer an Astronaut as a cryptic relic, until the internet era resurrected it. The Deftones connection. Chino Moreno frequently cites Hum as an influence, particularly their blend of heaviness and atmosphere. Tracks like Knife Party and Digital Bath owe a clear debt to You'd Prefer an Astronaut. Post-metal progenitors, bands like Isis and Pelican expanded Hum's tectonic riffs into epic instrumental landscapes. Emo's cosmic cousins. Modern acts like Title Fight and Nothing incorporate Hum's melodic sensibilities into their own genre-blurring work. The resurgence, streaming platforms, and vinyl reissues introduced the album to new generations. In 2020, Hum reunited, selling out tours and proving their timeless appeal. Timeless production. The album's analog warmth and digital experimentation avoid the dated trappings of 90s alt-rock. Genre fluidity. In an era of rigid genre labels, You'd prefer an astronaut defies categorization, a precursor to today's genreless music landscape. Emotional resonance. Themes of loneliness, wonder, and existential dread remain universal, connecting with listeners across decades. Influence on modern heavy music. From Deaf Heaven's Black Gaze to Spiritbox's progressive metal, Hum's DNA is everywhere. Hum's You Prefer an Astronaut is more than a relic of the 90s. It's a living document of innovation. In an age where music is increasingly fragmented, the album's fusion of metal, space rock, and raw emotion feels more vital than ever. As bands continue to mine its depths for inspiration, Hum's legacy grows, proving that true artistry transcends eras. 30 years on, the stars still align for this cosmic masterpiece. This deep dive celebrates Hum's visionary album while contextualizing its enduring impact by exploring its creation, cultural footprint, and ongoing relevance. The article positions You'd Prefer an Astronaut as a cornerstone of alternative music's evolution, a testament to the power of daring to blend the heavy and the heavenly.